Welcome to part two, everybody, of a new America here in 2020. America is now dealing with a brand new set of issues that are not being addressed by this dorky president. Not only will he not admit that there are weather changes happening, problems with our climate, but he's part of it. He's actually complicit in the changes in our climate. I know that sounds really weird, but we have a photograph of Donald Trump touring a jet that drops chemtrails on our head. And you're going, well, what do you mean chemtrails? That's like condensation. No, it's not. It's not condensed air. It actually lingers in the air for a long, long time and leaves a definite impression. A lot of these canisters are, as seen in the pictures here. Here's a man standing there next to the canisters. These are the canisters on board many of the jets that are flying above you. Many of them are running without pilots, too. They have the ability to run these jets in tandem through a local area network that operates simultaneously. They can run up to 7 planes above you from one land station, based at some location, with secret location within the Air Force's headquarters, the chemtrail headquarters for the United States government. These are just typical loads that are inside of passenger jets. They'll keep this area completely cleared of any passengers. And some people are really proud to be flying these chemtrail jets. Like, here's a guy from the, he's proud holding the patch here. Look what the patch says. Team Chemtrail. Look at that. Team Chemtrail. So these are the guys that think they're doing a good thing by spraying you like an insect. Yeah. And they're proud of it because somehow they think that they're keeping the atmosphere normalized. They're doing what is called stratospheric aerosol injection. Well, what they do is they fly these jets above us. And if you get with the program, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Apparently, you're having a hard time with the program. But, they've been doing this for some time and getting away with it. And here we are wondering, when is it going to stop? Well, it's never going to stop. Trump just went on board one of these planes himself. Here's a picture of him right there, looking at all the canisters that are distributing chemicals on your head. Oh yeah, you're president watching the chemicals in the chemtrail plane and then talking about how there's no such thing as climate change. Now you're wondering, well, how is this possible? Well, would it shock you to know that Donald Trump's uncle was named John Trump, who was a nuclear physicist who worked with Tesla's technology? When Tesla died, they stored Tesla's technology in a small cubicle in Long Island at some storage yard. And basically, John Trump, Trump's uncle, was in charge of that. Well, it turns out they used Tesla technology in combination with the heavy metals in the sky to do a thing called weather modification. They don't need an ozone. They can create the stratospheric aerosol injection with all kinds of aromatic hydrocarbons, and it replaces the ozone in their minds, not in reality. What it does is it creates an incubator, like a microwave oven on the planet. It actually contributes to climate change, big time. So we have a big task ahead of us this year, and that is to get people aware of chemtrails and how it's affected weather modification. Because the government doesn't want anyone to believe this. They want to make people who are a believer in chemtrails out to be whack jobs, calling them conspiracy theorists, denigrating them, even though the science is there. And not only is it here, but it's in Italy. They did a deep study of the chemicals that are in these drops. It turns out it's waste material. The very same thing you'd come off of smokestacks with. Well, then I did some research, and I found out that what they found out in Italy was happening all around the world, and that they're using a type of funding to fund this. It's called the Future Gen Project. And they call it carbon sequestration, and it's been going on for decades now. All because they claim they're going to get rid of the carbon. But what they're doing with carbon sequestration in the Future Gen Project is charging you, the taxpayer, roughly $10 to $15 billion a year and dumping chemicals on your head with that money. They are literally putting all those chemicals come off of the production of aluminum and other types of metals, and they literally put them in your water supply like fluoride, lithium in the air. They put barium and aluminum in the air. They put silver iodide in the air to create rain. They change weather patterns. They create evaporation zones in California. They're literally trying to create weather modification that would normally take 200-300 years. They want to do it in 5 years. So that all of us go, well, we better do something about it. After all, Greta's really trying to help. Greta's the one who's raising the concern, and she, of course, is on the cover of Time magazine. Oh, yes, so that we should have cap and trade legislation. It
is, the money is there. If we can save the banks, then we can save the world. The money is there. If we can save the banks.
No, Greta, the banks aren't going to save us, okay? She's just spouting words, but she's doing nothing, right, Anita? And she wouldn't mention the dreaded word chemtrail. She wouldn't be allowed to mention the word chemtrail. You see, the people that run the world don't want anyone to know that they're spraying you. Like insects. So what my resolution is for this country is to say no to chemtrails. That's my 2020 resolution, really. No to chemtrails. And I also would suggest something that Greta can't talk about, which is ironic, but I would suggest that we do something else besides stopping the chemtrails. And that's filter the air. Air filtration. Right, something like that would really be beneficial. And maybe we could filter the water too. That would be nice. So these are the things that I want to do. Are you a fan of filtering water, air filtration, and no chemtrails? I am. F-A-N, fan. Right, I'm a fan. And because we've got a lot of people coming into the show every night trying to attack us, I've solicited my ops to, and anytime somebody comes in here, my mod will take them out if they are trying to attack us. And that includes you, Metanemesis. Yeah, this is your big opportunity to shine. We're being attacked. The more I do the show, the less they can do to stop me. Would I take a ride in the space station? No. That would involve going underwater. How do you filter the air of America? Good question. Let me take you to a place where I can do it. Going to maps.google. Yeah, I'll get started on my new America right now. I'll tell you all about it. Certain mountain ranges in America are very beautiful and happen to have a high wind ratio. One of those mountains is the Tehachapi Mountain Range, already the home to countless windmills, like as seen in this picture right here. You can see that there's a tremendous amount of windmills in the Tehachapi Mountain Range. There's a tremendous amount of air rolling through there. And the mountainous community that I'm referring to has the ability to have a lot of high wind factors. So we could theoretically construct a. Let me see if I can get there in the mountain area. No place to drop the little guy. Hello. Yeah, I'm trying to drop the little guy in a mountain areas. Twin Lakes, maybe. Let me take it over here. This will be a backdoor to Grapevine. Yeah. Well, when you go to the Grapevine, you'll see it. There is a mountain that you go over, which is the Tehachapi Mountain Range. And when you climb up I-5 and look at that mountain range up ahead, it's got a lot of potential. There are certain canyons in there, like this one right here, that would provide an area we could put a Vornado air filter in. And in doing so, we could actually trap air particles in Venturi air scrubbers, thereby cleaning the air on Earth. Right, it's time to get rid of the force of the Illuminati. Exactly. We're all concerned about this. So we could theoretically filter carbon out of the air a lot better than dumping chemtrails on and doing whatever the hell they're trying to do. Yes, I get daily passes over my house as low as 500 feet of F-35s. Not lately since it's New Year's, but normally I get about 15 to 25 flyovers a day. And they also run a military helicopter over my house twice a day. I've seen this predictably every day for the past 2 or 3 months now. It's not a rescue vehicle, it's a military helicopter. I live by an airbase, yeah. Right, there are such things as zero-point energy, you're right. And I think we could come up with low zero-point energy solutions as well. So let's add that to the list. Zero-point energy. And this is where government is clashing with private enterprise, because when venture capitalists come up with great ideas, oftentimes they don't have the provisions in patent law to protect their ideas. And what I'm proposing is a plan to actually protect any type of a patentable idea that provides zero-point energy. Very little output can create more energy from that output, and zero-point energy is definitely something that I'm in favor of. But we're being faced with patent law restrictions, so somebody can buy up a patent and sit on it. When you were younger, you had three C-130s fly over your house over every few weeks. Really, Bob? Well, that's something that happens a lot over here. I knew that going into this, but I didn't realize they were going to be testing 55 F-18s over my house, the Growlers. And we found out that that was a problem facing all of us. But it's not just the 120 decibel noise coming out of the Navy when they fly over our houses. It's also the jets are being sprayed with flame retardant, which is a terrible waste product, being dumped into our water aquifers. So there's over 500, actually 600 different locations in America that are contaminated with flame retardant. And flame retardant has caused these 600 neighborhoods to now have to filter their water, but that alone doesn't get rid of the flame retardant. In our area, not where I live, because 10 miles south of me, they found 400 parts per million in the water. Now, flame retardant, or PFAS as they call it, is a known carcinogen at 1 part per million. We had 400 parts per million, so the Navy came by and offered the community near me a free water filter system for $7 million. Our Navy put in a free water system that filters the water down where people are contaminated. But even then, it's only 27 million or parts per million. So no matter how you cut it, they're getting carcinogenic water no matter what they do. So the Navy, and this is the kicker, the Navy has refused to stop using the flame retardant on their planes. A lot of these jets fly with such waste that they burn 10,000 gallons of fuel, in one sortie. There's nothing more wasteful than these jets that are flying over my house, or anywhere for that matter. They literally suck gas or fuel like crazy. And in the process, they're also burning up. So when they land, they're often so hot they have to use flame retardant to put the engines down. I mean, they're not exactly running perfectly. And that in and of itself makes you wonder, how could a Navy continue dumping wasteful chemicals on people's heads unrestricted? Now, Washington State said they're going to sue the Navy. They didn't. Somebody got to somebody and shut it down. A local community put together a $50 million lawsuit against the Navy. They failed in federal appellate court. The judge laughed it off, saying that's ridiculous. Now a new group of people are suing over water contamination. They're building a class action suit against the Navy. It's just never ending, and the judges protect the Navy. They don't protect the people, the plaintiffs who are filing for contamination issues. A lot of people's property values went down south of me and north of me because their water's contaminated. And this is true in over 600 communities in America. So you've got a two-party system that won't even answer these questions of major Navy water contamination issues. St. Louis, Missouri. There is a nuclear waste depository that is right next to a dumpster fire. And underground, you got a dumpster fire burning, reaching into the contaminated nuclear radiation dump area. And you've got outgassing of major nuclear material heading east from St. Louis. Now, if you happen to be living under that airstream, your chance of getting brain cancer is 1 in 5,000, whereas the national average is 1 in 50,000. That alone puts me in high alert to, get that problem solved as president. Flint, Michigan. Look what has happened there. They still have absolute crap coming out of their water. Not only did Obama do nothing with Flint, Michigan, but Trump has done next to nothing with Flint, Michigan. Okay, you live in St. Louis and you never heard about it? Thank you, Guest 711. Let me give you a little link to that. Hopefully you're not downwind from it, but there's the Westlake landfill. In 2018, the EPA ordered a cleanup of the St. Louis nuclear waste site, where decomposing trash was coming at you. Cory Booker was the mayor at the time. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. There it is right there. It'll give you a kind of a heads up as to what's happening, but the residents living near the landfill contaminated with nuclear waste deserve action. And this is 2 years old, this story, so there's still a lack of activity here. But there's a dumpster fire near there that's causing airborne contamination of the region. So we got to get on that too. But these are issues that I really want to take on head on as president. And I'm just telling you that because we got so many people in our show that don't even have a clue as to what's happening in their life, I'm going to remove you from the show. And I'm also going to report you as harassment and bullying. And you've been reported. All right? Okay. Thank you. No, T. Rucker and Amanda made a fortune. They are they cleaned up. They're good friends with Mark. T. Rucker claimed that he died. Amanda went on to be a cam girl. They broke up. You've been reported, yeah. Now, whatever you're doing to trick the system, I'm going to report you again. All right, there you go. Yeah, she became a cam girl after she broke up with T. Rucker. She moved in with Lot Lizard for a while. Mark has made a fortune censoring our show, and he gave a lot of that money to T. Rucker and Amanda and United American. Apparently she did pose naked, yeah. This is not a wig. This is my real hair. I don't know why you think this is a wig. God. I know they're saying the picture of Donald Trump is false, but can you believe Snopes.com? Yeah. No. They're claiming it's false because he was touring a chemtrail plane, but it's saying it's false because they don't believe chemtrails exist. That's not the reason why it's false. Yeah, they're just debunking chemtrails, claiming they don't exist, like so many other mainstream media outlets that are trying to make you believe you're not being sprayed like a dumpster fire. Thanks, McLovins. You got a video on it? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll play that tonight. Nuclear disaster in St. Louis update on the Westlake facility. Appreciate it, McLevins. We aren't even dealing with the tremendous amount of radiation approaching us from Fukushima. That's a very serious issue that I don't think you could ignore. Fukushima, Fukushima, men have named you. Yeah, we've got an environmental crisis at Fukushima too. So a lot of these things are not even being investigated. I gave a solution for Fukushima many years ago, but nobody responded to me from the IAEA. I was going to block the exit, the opening with the USS Forrestal, which no longer existed. They got rid of the USS Forrestal, but a destroyer could go in there and block that bay, which would prevent a lot of that radiation and corium from going to the Pacific Ocean. But nobody in America has bothered to even check. Nobody's even checking the radiation along the West Coast. So our government is completely asleep at the switch when it comes to protecting the environment, especially under Donald Trump. Words can't even describe the incompetence of this man. This Fukushima radiation hit San Francisco area by 2013. So we're already 6 years into this. This was the last known test that I heard about. He's walking along the beach of San Francisco, and it's
the path heading towards Surfers Beach. We're up on a bluff area. Here I am on the beach.
Look at the numbers he's getting. 152, 124, right near the beach. Massive increase in radiation and field radiation as you get near the beaches. It's secret, I told you that. My sensei, it's secret. I can't tell you. The orcas left due to the jet noises and chemtrails. I know. The orcas are smarter than we are. Now, actually, the orcas left our area because they were slaughtered. Remember Shamu? Shamu was part of a pod that was about a mile away from where I live. And Shamu and his entire pod were completely destroyed. Shamu got out. They put him in Marineland or something, but the rest of the pod died. You can't even get near me. I'm reporting you at all levels. Harassment and bullying. Yeah. Yeah, you're going down, buddy. I'm reporting you across the board. You're going to be admitted very... You can't even get near me, man. I'm reporting you left and right. Yeah, you're out of here. Okay, in 2014, it was shown as almost nil from Fukushima. No, that's incorrect. I just showed you an example of 2013 radiation in San Francisco. It's nil because they're not testing it. Are you completely out of it or something, Slow Modes? Because you haven't even gotten near what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn your life upside down someday. I'm recording these sessions, by the way. No, you can't possibly touch me. And you know, frankly, I don't even care. You have no chance to even get near me, man. My sensei beat up Steven Seagal, yeah. You're not kidding. You're basically going to eat it someday. You know you are, too. No, so that debunking of the chemtrail picture of Donald Trump claims that he was in a chemtrail plane, but it wasn't a chemtrail plane. So, it's pretty funny. I have confirmation here. That's a false story out of the AAS organization. There's no way that's accurate. They're not testing it. No, they're not testing it. The CPAB levels, the CPM levels at that location were through the roof. Yeah, that was in 2013. So to say that there's no effect the coastline, and they've looked at the intertidal zones, and life is dying along the coast of California. There's been a drastic decline in the intertidal zone life forms in, say, Monterey. Yeah, you're forcing me to do this because this was actually taken in 2013 by real people assessing
This is the path
the levels of
heading
CPM.
towards Surfers Beach. And you're going to see the numbers go down. See if we can get a better shot. It's going back to 50. Just going slowly in a circle around me. I'm not doing any average count.
So he's just holding that meter up there and it's spiking. Everything I'm saying is designed to make you awake and aware. And the more you try to come in here and attack me, the more I'm going to pull you out. But thanks for coming in. I'm going to definitely remove you from the show. There were 2 people from Sweden that were advertised missing persons every Christmas in just this week alone. Really? People are missing? Steven Seagal was bragging about his talents on one of the movies. I think it was on the movie, the set of... Yeah, I forget the name of the movie. But the guy I know to be a sensei was a 6th-degree black belt. He basically put him down. It wasn't that hard either. Steven Seagal has all basically pushed out his Aikido technology to the max. You can be fat and pretend to be an Aikido expert. Yeah, the chemtrails are real. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm trying to help you, and you don't get that. All right. No, it's nothing crazy about it. That's an actual testing of the radiation off the coast of California. There are no tests conducted in California on the level of radiation. They're completely stonewalling it. And when the government found out the radiation levels had increased, no. I would not go to a Chinese buffet if I could avoid it. If I have to eat, I'll eat there. But I would rather not go to a Chinese buffet. They're too salty and they use MSG. Steven Seagal said he could whoop any of the MMA fighters. Well, he couldn't take on the 6th-degree black belt that kicked his ass on a set one day. Oh, I know what the name of the set was. It was on the Running Man set. No, that's not it. 1987 movie, The Running Man. That's right. Featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura. 1987, it was on the Running Man set. That's when Steven Seagal had his ass kicked. Tell that to him. Yeah, he'll know what I'm talking about. Are you in touch with him in Russia? I did not forget Larry. I've got him on tap anytime you want, Howie. Remember, we've been over this? I'm trying to wean Howie off his addiction to this homosexual man.
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine. After which, I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Thanks to Larry Sinclair, we've got some real solid information there. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2020. We're finally on board for another wonderful decade. We just have to deal with the big problems of ending the chemtrails they're spraying on your head, filtering your air and your water, which Donald Trump doesn't want to do. He doesn't give a crap about you or what goes in your body. He doesn't care about people. If he did, he wouldn't be eating cheeseburgers and diet soda every day, would he? He basically thinks everything's a joke, including your health. So that's your president, the guy you put all your faith in, Yeah, so you're basically stuck with him as your president until you learn how to impeach him. And you start by not supporting the idiot. Okay? That's how you support it. So, yeah, it was the Running Man set, 1987. I know an actor that was on that scene, on that set. And he told me that he was there when Steven Seagal appeared on the set, and his friend, who was also my friend, the sensei, a 6th-degree black belt. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you his name, but he kicked Steven Seagal's ass. All right? Thank you. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. Happy-go-lucky. So Tehachapi's would be an ideal place to put a big, huge vortex filtration system, and it would be very simple to run. Super simple. Let's see where we could do this. July 2012. Well, it's the same topography. Yeah, Tehachapi Mountain Range. That'd be a good starting point. Beautiful area. Yep. God's country. Thank you. So 6 states that could legalize marijuana sales in 2020. This sounds exciting for you people who love smoking the herb, the ganja. Now, Soul Child says there's missing 22,000 people missing, according to Red Cross, since the beginning of the war in Syria.
The International Committee of the Red Cross revealed 22,000 missing persons during the war that has been ongoing in the country for 9 years. Dominique Stallhart, Director of Operations for the International Committee of the Red Cross, said in a press interview that millions of people had been forced to leave their homes. 500,000 were killed, tens of thousands were kidnapped, mentioning that the committee...
The Red Cross isn't exactly the most reliable source. Yeah, I mean, they killed 318 hemophiliacs with AIDS. Can you really trust the Red Cross on anything? Yeah, they didn't really apologize for killing the 318 hemophiliacs with AIDS, but they did. Elizabeth Dole was in charge of the Red Cross back then. My dad had a memory of the Red Cross. You know, my father fought in 3 tours of duty overseas against the Japanese. And, you know, he really didn't want to fight the Japanese, but he had to. It was his job. But when my dad came back from 3 years in the jungles of the Marianas, the Philippines, Taipei, Red Cross wanted to charge him 50 cents for a cup of coffee and 50 cents for a donut. That's the Red Cross for you. Yeah. Imagine charging the men who fought and won World War II 50 cents for a donut and 50 cents for a coffee. And we're talking 1946 money here. Yeah, that's like a big, steep price for a cup of coffee. So I don't trust the Red Cross. Yeah, they've had too many tainted blood supplies. I don't trust their statistics about Syria either, Anita. But thank you. Yeah, really. Seriously. How many people die every year from contaminated blood delivered by some Red Cross bloodmobile that got money or gave money to a bag person for their blood? How much blood is in our supply right now that's contaminated with Hep C or worse, Hep B or AIDS? We don't even know. I'm not really happy with Red Cross. And there's another agency I'm not happy with. NASA. I call it never a straight answer. And somebody said last night, Dave, you know, you're really kind of out there. You're claiming we didn't go to the moon and and NASA's faking the International Space Station videos. Yeah, I am. I am saying that. And the $20 billion a year we give NASA is a waste of money. Now, when I become president, we will turn NASA into a launch facility for satellites. We won't be outsourcing the technology to Elon Musk, the crackhead, or Richard Branson, who can't possibly, put something in space if he tried. I mean, when is Virgin Galactic going to make it into space? We don't really think it will. How many people have died doing that? Many. So what I plan on doing is getting NASA to run efficiently at a $5 billion level, not a $20 billion level. And we're going to make sure that they cut all the programs where they fake everything, or they spend a lot of money faking things. And when we get down to the brass tacks, we're going to get NASA to run like a lean, mean machine so we can deploy satellites and make money doing it and sell that cargo space to people that want to deploy the satellites. NASA will also contribute to the Space Force's operation in developing what I plan is a drone missile defense system that'll operate at multiple levels above the Earth. Isn't this exciting? I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. NASA could be involved in some of our testing of our blimp plane package, which could provide easy airplane tours at the high altitudes as well as low altitudes. So I think we could actually create almost a hotel network in the air with these blimp planes, and NASA can get involved in that too. I want NASA to get a return on investment. I'm sick and tired of money being dumped into some nonsensical space program to fake everything that they've been doing over the past 60 years. So yeah, consider a brand new approach to NASA, but much more cost efficient and a lot more savings for the average consumer. Big changes coming from my perspective. But 2020 is going to be a kind of a radical year for us. We're going to probably see Donald Trump resign from the pressure of all the corruption he's been involved in. We probably will see Mike Pence as our president. And in the process, we'll begin to think about what's the future for 2020. The 2020 race will be wide open at that point when the Democrats realize the best they can do is some old guy with aneurysms, Joe Biden, and some gay guy who can't explain 3 years of his life where he's at a PR firm that was designed to rig elections. So many people are wondering who they can trust, and the Republicans don't have anybody besides Donald Trump. I mean, even if Mike Pence were to run, nobody would really vote for him. John Kasich would run. The best guy for the Republican Party, though, really, in my opinion, would be Mitt Romney. He would be the best choice, I think. So once Trump resigns, the Republicans will be looking at putting either Mitt Romney or John Kasich up there to run in 2020. And the Democrats will have either Pete Buttigieg or Joe Biden. I don't think Elizabeth Warren's going to make it because she's such a liar. God, what a liar.
2020.
This is 2020. Yeah, so I don't know. Red Cross in Syria doesn't really cut it for me. Sorry. Great. Linda Ronstadt came out publicly and just yesterday said that she compared Trump to Hitler. Music icon Linda Ronstadt compared Trump to Hitler, saying Mexicans are the new Jews. And I agree with her. I didn't think I would, but the way I've heard people are being treated down in these encampments, these concentration camps Donald Trump has constructed, it's a secret. And not many people in the industry want to let it out that Steven Seagal got his ass kicked. I could give you names, but I don't really want to get anybody in trouble. Yeah. It was on the set of The Running Man, and I know one of the actors there who saw it right in front of his eyes. Now, if I were to call that actor right now, he probably wouldn't even answer my phone because he's very angry at me. Yeah, he claimed he wrote a script about a guy running for president. And then I ran for president. He claims that I took his script idea. Can you believe that? I never even heard him pitch his idea to me. I'd get him on the interview, but he doesn't like me and I don't like him. He's a scumbag. But he's the guy I'm referring to. Okay, legendary Linda Ronstadt compared Trump to a Nazi leader, Adolf Hitler. Mexicans are targeted today the way Jews were in Germany. She says if you read history, you won't be surprised. It's exactly the same. She told Anderson Cooper. Find a common enemy for everyone to hate. I was sure that Trump was going to get elected the day he announced, and he said, it's going to be like Hitler. And the Mexicans are the new Jews, and sure enough, that's what he delivered. Wow. She said Germany's intelligentsia had a chance to stop Hitler, but didn't speak out. The industrial complex thought that they could control him once they got him in office, and of course he was not controllable. She said, adding that Hitler then put his own people in place and stacked the country's courts to consolidate power. That's right. He destroyed centuries of intellectual history forward and backward, she said. Ronstadt, who was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014, retired from performing in 2011 due to a Parkinson's-like condition called progressive supranuclear palsy. There she is. We love you, Linda. She was Jerry Brown's closest buddy for a long time.
I've read that you have read a lot about the Weimar.
Learn to speak, Anderson. With the kind of money you now have, with your mom passing away as a Vanderbilt, you don't need to have to worry about your mouth. Just go to a speech therapist. That's all, folks. The Bugs Bunny speech therapy course.
I've read that you have read a lot about the Weimar Republic in Germany, and you sort of see parallels between then and now.
Well, great parallels. I mean, the intelligentsia of Berlin and the literati and all the artists were just busy doing their thing. And there were a lot of chances, as Hitler rose to power, there were a lot of chances to stop him, and they didn't speak out. And the industrial complex thought that they could control him once they got him in office, and of course he was not controllable. By the time he got established, he put his own people in place and stacked the courts and did what he had to do to consolidate his power. And we got Hitler, and he destroyed Germany. He destroyed centuries of intellectual history, forward and backward. The people like Beethoven and Goethe and Thomas Mann became jokes. They became Nazi laughingstock.
I think a lot of people, though, would be surprised to hear comparisons between what happened then and now.
If you read the history, you won't be surprised. It's exactly the same. Find a common enemy for everybody to hate. When I was sure that Trump was going to get elected the day he announced, and I said it's going to be like Hitler, and the Mexicans are the new Jews.
Wow. It's a heartache.
Control my tongue again and remember how to speak English. I'm going to introduce you to the guys in the band. First of all, on keyboards, Brock Walsh.
There she was, singing her heart out in the 60s and 70s. She was really quite popular in the 70s. Yeah, Linda Ronstadt, everybody, coming out against Donald Trump as Hitler. How about that?
This is 2020.
2020. Welcome to 2020. Yep, so a lot of you have been lulled into believing that Donald Trump somehow represents you, the average American. He doesn't give a shit about you. He cares about his Jewish Zionist backers that give him money like AIPAC and the Russian oligarchs that built his finances over the past 15 years. He doesn't care about you little people. Donald Trump has already proven to not care about little people by giving tax breaks to the rich, which will hurt you little people when you're trying to get food stamps. I'm sure some of you are wondering where your food stamps are this month. You're single, living alone. Well, you got to get a job to get food stamps now in America. Trump is employing a plan to cut people off of the only thing they need to survive, food. That's the kind of president you have. Alex Jones has been ordered to pay $100,000 in legal fees when he tried to defame the Sandy Hook investigation. Yeah, I heard about that. You know, merely asking questions about evidence, that's not defaming anything. Questioning, is there more evidence? Can we look at more evidence? That's not defaming anything. But this guy outright said various things about Sandy Hook that caused a lot of people to feel very angry, one in particular who sued him and then won in court. Now Alex has to pay $100,000 in damages. Yeah. What I do is I ask questions. I'm open to questions. In fact, I'm always questioning evidence. I'm pretty good. It's me, 127. How are you? Or how are you? I'm good. Are you good? All right, good. Yeah, making money off of people's grief, if indeed that's what he was doing, I'm concerned about the evidence. Don't question about it. I even mentioned Parkland shooting recently and how there's no CCTV footage of Nicholas Cruz shooting anybody, yet there's witnesses saying there were 3 men in black outfits shooting people. All these contradictions are open season, and I'm more than willing to ask those questions. But can I pass judgment on that? No. I can't. Without the evidence, I can't pass judgment. It's a heartache. I'm not sure which one I'd want to listen to. You're No Good or Linda Ronstadt's favorite hits, You're No Good. Yeah, maybe that'll be good out of the chute. You're No Good. There you go. Alex Jones was making money off of his segment in that incident with his show. You're right. And as you know, I don't make any money, so I'm not trying to profit from questioning things. There's no financial gain from anything I talk about in our show. And that gives me a certain amount of support that I need. How Tesla electricity can create wireless power. The Economist. Yeah, I'll play that tonight. I believe that the new wireless chargers are not fully testable. Or if they are, they should put somebody's head between it and the charging device and see how long that lasts. Maybe a rat. Not some person, but maybe a rat.
2020.
The idea that the wireless charging system sends electricity through the air might make you wonder if it's safe, you know? Right. We had a couple things that popped up last night that was very interesting. Scissor Fight brought us an image that was very questionable, compelling, all the above. Watch this. Okay, so I didn't try that at home, and I don't recommend you trying it at home. But that guy tried it right in front of our eyes, and it lit up like a Christmas tree. Is it a bad fake, really? Try it at home and see what you can do, Slow Modes. I challenge you to do it. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, that was pretty realistic as far as I'm concerned. I heard the field radiation coming off these cell phones can cause DNA alterations in your brain. And I can get you some statistics if you'd like. Let's do a little search here. Yeah, in 2018 they did a study at the journals.plos.org. I don't buy or sell used furniture. No, that's not my thing. Okay, let's take a look. Mobile phone specific electromagnetic fields induce transient DNA damage and nucleotide excision repair in serum deprived human glioblastoma cells. Okay, you can look at the epidemiological studies to see if that relates to you, anything you might see as important. Take a look. Analyze the data and get back to me. Thank you. Good night. I don't sell cars, nor would I make a good car salesman. My primary goal is to wake you up. I don't have any worldly desire to make money in this world. I'm not materialistic. Unlike all the other predecessors before me, I just finished watching You. We're watching, a variety of shows right now. We watch a lot of episodic shows, Sarah and I do. How could I sell my my Honda? It'd be worth millions of dollars. How could I possibly get $1 million for it? Yeah, you only care about money. I don't really want to make money on my Honda. I want to just look at it forever and ever and drive it around. Well, I'll tell you something. If you traded me an EcoVan for the Honda outright, I'd consider it. But it'd have to have a full shower in it and a bed and everything. Yeah, you're the one that said I should get an EcoVan with my Honda. So the only way I'd be able to do a trade is if somebody brought me an EcoVan and said, okay, I'll hand the keys over and sign the papers to you if you do the same with the Honda inside. I just want an EcoVan. I know it costs a lot of money, so since I'm not into money, I'd rather just not have one, you know. It's not like I want an EcoVan. I don't need one. What are EcoVans? Well, they're like Sprinters or Transits that have been fixed up. Sprinters that turned into an RV. And they're pretty expensive. They're not exactly cheap. Here's one couple, how we converted a Sprinter into an RV.
Ahoy, friends. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Joe.
You might know us as the Wandering Wagners.
The Wandering Wagners converted an entire Sprinter van into a really nice unit. Check it out. Yeah. The Wandering Wagners. I guess it's not even completed there. I have over 1 million hits, so maybe I'll go to somebody else. A lot of people are making vans and doing these amazing things. We featured this young woman, Barefoot Theory, she's called.
Wanted to be able to maintain the walkway down the aisle of the van.
This is the cleanest Sprinter van I've ever seen. She's got the bed right there, and she's got the table with the 2 stanchions. And then in the back, you can see her little kitchenette. And she's really got a unique shower system. It's really awesome. I played this the other night. There's a little stove. But look at this. She put a shower in right next to her unit.
These hooks in here.
She can hang stuff and store it while she's traveling, but whenever she wants to get out, she can take that shower and just wash herself off, like with the sand on her feet.
To be really long on this shower, so it's long enough to actually pull outside.
That's the kind of van that I would like, yeah. I told Sarah I'd love one of these eco vans. The eco car. You shouldn't be here. Your mom will miss you. She's a nice lady. You should be, except, oh, look at that. Wow. Now you're talking. If somebody came out with a Leica next to my house here, I'd say, okay, you can have my Honda Insight. That's a really nice unit. That's exactly what we're talking about, yeah. But my car is not worth that much. Yeah, and I don't really want to, you know. These things are worth a fortune, these Leicas. Pretty cool. Thanks for showing me that. I'll check it out later. That's an impressive van. Living down by the river, I know. A lot of people are putting their money into these vans and fixing them up And I see them going around, living together in their vans, traveling. I saw a couple from New Hampshire just a couple days ago. I was at a restaurant, and I pulled out, and I saw this van that was customized. It was a transit van. I think GM makes it. And it was really well made. And it had all kinds of insulation, like aluminum insulation over the windows so that you couldn't see in, but it was pretty stealth. And when they went in the back, it was like a little bedroom in a motel room, you know. Greta wants my van to run on Hampa. I don't know. You know, Greta's her own person. I hope she succeeds at getting her attitude straightened out. I can tell you that I was as cynical as Greta when I was a kid. It's not a wig. This is my real hair. I was as cynical as Greta when I was a kid. In fact, I got into arguments with people that came to my school from Dow Chemical when I was 7 years old. I yelled at them and I told them that they were polluting the earth, and I was just as vocal as she was. Yeah, I know you thought it was a wig, but it's really just my real hair. Yeah, it's what happens when I shower. Yeah, thank you. My stylist likes it too. But no, seriously, the idea of stopping companies from desecrating the earth has always been a big part of my push. In the 80s, I started an organic food representation company, and I tried to promote organic food, and I can honestly say I am one of the biggest important people when it comes to promoting them, because I was the guy that introduced the O brand organic food in 1985. And it wasn't until early 2000 that they finally developed an organic food processing ability at the Safeway markets. But I was the guy in 1985 to walk into the general manager's office and tell him about how important organic food was. And I sold him on it with a big press packet. And he said, I love it. And I thought he was going to buy something because I was selling things at the time. And he says, no, I don't want to buy anything. I just want to start making organic food. So in a way, I kicked off one of the largest producers of organic food in America, the O brand. And I'm just happy that I did it. It's a feel-good feeling, you know? But fighting for the environment has been what I've been after. This whole effort politically started with Cool Rock Party. Our Twitch show over there has twitch.tv/coolrockparty. We have about 4 viewers in there right now. But good. Yeah, I'm good. 2020 is looking good for me. But we're just getting started again, reviving that concept. Coolrock.com is our site that you can go to and check out our chat, interact, and compare 2 chat rooms simultaneously. You can also play music on the site. It's fun stuff. And I made it free and fun and fairly private. We don't track you. I don't. I know iVlog may track you, but I don't. Yeah, this is a pretty good, pretty cool device. Yeah, I love it. Looks like a really nice motorhome, well made. The ultimate convenient thing to drive around and park, and that's the ultimate motorhome. Yeah. So if you want to hang out at our show in the evenings, you're welcome to come on in and visit us. We are available free of charge, and anybody who wants to hang out and talk about politics can. And that's one of the reasons why we do the show. It's a venue for you to share your ideas and even conflict with what I'm saying if you want. I am running for president in 2020. It's official, yes. I am on one of the listed people running for president. Okay, so we will sign off tonight. Thank you for attending our show. A really big shoe. We got a video we're going to kick this off with tonight. Bernie Sanders didn't even earn a paycheck till 2012. This is amazing. No, till he turned 40. Bernie Sanders didn't even earn a paycheck till he turned 40, folks. He lived with his parents, so if you're still thinking of Bernie, you may want to rethink this. He talks the talk, but he's now a millionaire in the 1%, multimillionaire. And he never worked up until the age of 40, so you may want to get a different impression of who he is after watching this. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for another Thursday show. We're going to be making beef enchiladas at 5 o'clock, so check it out. Hopefully it'll be under $10 for 10 servings. That's what I'm shooting for. I still have to buy my red or green peppers, so that's costly now. It's not cheap to buy peppers anymore. Used to be you get 3 or 4 peppers for $1. Now it's like $2 a piece. That's so much for inflation, right? No, there's not going to be any MSG in this dinner. It's got grass-fed beef. So it'll be a grass-fed enchilada. And you're baked right now, huh? Okay, ciao 268. Take care. Okay, this is Mr. Wright signing off. I'll be back tomorrow. But stay in the show and watch our show, our video till about 1 in the morning, and I'll be in chat. Take care.
Mr. Right, too good. Just spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat. 'Cause you make me melt away. My feet, my heart stops to beat. 'Cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good to be true.